Good afternoon, everyone. Volodymyr, let me start by paying tribute to you and to the Ukrainian people. You are fighting not just for Ukraine, but for the freedom and security that is cherished by the British people and by all Europeans every single day. Just a few moments ago here in the United Kingdom, we saw the sentencing of 6 men for Russian-sponsored arson attack on a warehouse in East London. This was a warehouse storing humanitarian aid and satellite equipment destined for Ukraine. We will not tolerate this hostile activity. And it just underlines the point. Your security is our security. What happens on the front line of Donetsk today is shaping our collective future for years to come. And that's why Emmanuel and I brought the Coalition of the Willing together again today. We stand with you, stronger than ever, united behind Ukraine, and united with President Trump in calling for the fighting to stop now, and for the negotiations to begin from the current line of contact. President Trump is right to have imposed sanctions on Russia's oil majors, as the UK has also done, alongside the latest package from the EU. And we must now maintain this pressure. Volodymyr, you have said for months that you're ready for a ceasefire and you're ready to meet Putin. Yet he continues to stall and play for time. Putin is the only person who does not want to stop this war. His strikes on civilians this week made that crystal clear once again, targeting energy infrastructure ahead of winter, hitting young children in their nursery, claiming the lives in Kyiv of a 12-year girl and a 6-month-old baby. This is who Putin is. Time after time, he rejects the chance to end the war. In just the last few days, he's rejected the opportunity for talks once again, instead making ludicrous demands for Ukrainian land, which he could not and has not taken by force. Of course, that is a complete non-starter, and it shows yet again that he's not serious about peace. So we've been clear today that we must respond. Working with the US, this coalition is determined to go further than ever to ratchet up the pressure on Putin, from the battlefield to his war economy, because that is the only way to change his mind and push him back to the table. And in our meeting this afternoon, we came together around a clear plan for the rest of this year. First, we will act to take Russian oil and gas off the global market. Last week, the UK became the first country to sanction all of Russia's oil majors. On Wednesday, the US acted decisively to join us, together with further sanctions from the EU. And we're choking off funding for Russia's war machine. And I'm urging others to take these steps too, to go further to reduce their dependencies and incentivise third countries to stop buying these tainted resources. Second, we're determined to push on with the progress on Russia's sovereign assets and unlock billions to help finance Ukraine's defence. The bill for Russia's destruction in Ukraine should be paid by Russia. So we want to move ahead at speed with the work needed to deliver reparation loans and get the funds flowing to Ukraine. Third, we are strengthening Ukraine's air defence to protect its civilians and its energy infrastructure. I announced today that we're accelerating our UK programme to provide Ukraine with more than 5,000 lightweight multi-role missiles. This programme has created hundreds of brilliant jobs in Belfast, and they're working now to deliver an additional 140 missiles ahead of schedule to bolster Ukraine's defences through the depths of winter. Fourth, we will keep up the military pressure on Putin through the continued provision of long-range capabilities. And finally, while now is the time to prioritise pressure, we're also continuing our work on security guarantees, including the multinational force Ukraine, to uphold a just and lasting peace when that day finally comes. Because, and I say it again, Ukraine's future is our future. What happens in the weeks and months ahead is pivotal for the security of the United Kingdom and all our allies across NATO and beyond. So we are determined to act now, to dial up the pressure on Putin and finally bring him to the negotiating table in good faith. Thank you. Now let me hand over to my friend Volodymyr.
Thank you so much, Keir. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, Keir, Mette, Dick, Mark, and everyone here, thanks you for today's meeting, today's coalition. These are two important days for us, very important. Today, the meeting of the Coalition of the Willing in London, and the day before there was an EU leaders meeting in Brussels. I thank you guys for all the support and your readiness to keep helping. And today, all the partners confirmed that next year they will continue to support Ukraine, our country, our resilience, especially the financial support, which is crucial. And today, the new Prime Minister of Japan joins the coalition for the first time, and all the signals are clear. Thank you. We all see the challenges these days, and the Russians are carrying out a campaign of terror against our energy system, and they really want to make the winter cold a tool of torment and pressure on Ukraine, our people, and on our defense. And Russia's goal hasn't changed. They want to break us, want to break Ukraine, and they are doing everything to achieve it. So that's why our defense means everything that truly stops Russia from killing, destroying, and terrorizing. First, air defense, and today we spoke in detail with our partners about the systems. It's important that our partners focus on what's most practical and effective, and we gave all the details. Second, of course, it's important that everyone agrees the front needs substantial attention, and the focus must be on it, and thank for all the steps of help. And third, we are promoting a more meaningful approach to diplomacy. Diplomacy matters only when it can lead to real decisions. And when it comes to Russia, that dish has many ingredients. The essential ones are real forms of pressure on Russia, sanctions, our long-range capabilities, political pressure, accountability for war crimes, and real actions regarding Russian assets. Today we all agreed sanctions that hit Russian oil infrastructure, Russian oil companies are a big step, and I thank President Trump and all our partners who are implementing this. And we have to apply pressure not only to Rosneft and Lukoil, but to all Russian oil companies like Surgutneftegas and others, and to the shadow fleet and its infrastructure, and to Russia's oil terminals. And we have to implement all we have discussed today about the Russia's shadow fleet. Besides, we are carrying out our own campaign of pressure with drones and missiles, specifically targeting the Russian oil sector. So the long-range capability directly strengthens diplomacy, the more losses Putin suffers on his own territory. The fewer assaults he can carry out on the front line, and the faster he will agree to meaningful diplomacy. That is why we are working to secure Tomahawk cruise missiles, additional Storm Shadow missiles, other capabilities. Thank you very much, Keir, for today's decision. Thank you for your support that you said, and about long range. And there must be no option left for Russia except to end the war and return peace to our country. And of course, I also want to thank our partners for working with us to produce weapons, for investing in our country, for joint projects, and for the agreements we are now implementing. And one more point is Pearl program. I thank for each contribution. Mark, thank you for coordinating this program, for each contribution, and today we agreed to step up in the coming months. Peace is born from pressure on the aggressor, and that is what we must continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Volodymyr. Mark, can I turn to you?
Yeah, thank you.